Pat Roque from Rock On Success Academy. Hey, mate, thank you so much for joining us, and a very happy new year to you, and a very happy new year to all of our all the people tuning in and all the people on the replay.
Happy New Year, guys. Thanks for having me. Pat Roque here, rocking on with my two favorite, well, don't tell Greg Smith. Thinkific guys.
Top three.
We're in the top three. He's in the top one. Okay. So I know you've got a lot of tons of knowledge. When we were first talking, I thought we were going to be talking a lot more about LinkedIn, but it looks like you really wanted to talk more about growing your tribe and growing your brand on Thinkific, and spreading your message through your tribe. And that's something that I know me and you have spoken, just, partnership stuff in general. This has always been a big focus for you. So I'm thrilled to bits to be learning more about this. And you know what's interesting? We've been talking a lot about other social media platforms and other tools and tactics and stuff like that to use, but I don't think we've talked enough perhaps about how you can use Thinkific specifically to grow your tribe. So we're really excited about this. So Pat, thank you so much, mate, for coming on. And I would say jumping on early, but what is it? It's like Florida time for you. So it's like 10 a.m. Yeah.
Well, early in the new year, right? Am I your first New Year's guest?
Certainly are. You certainly are.
Yes.
Look out, right? Putting that bar high.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Well, actually, Pat, why don't you just say, quick little introduction about yourself, what you do, and the courses that you've created and you're running, so that our audience can get to know you a little bit better.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Good morning, everybody. My name is Pat Roque, like OK Roque, and they call me the Rockstar Transformation Coach, which is kind of funny, but I have had my business since 1988, so some of your audience may not have been even a twinkle in their parents' eye quite yet, but nonetheless, I always say I make every mistake so you don't have to. Been an entrepreneur. My background is in marketing and public relations. It's always been around helping people shine in their best light and put their message forward. I live in New Jersey, northern New Jersey, and work in a laptop life from the beach in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and around the world. I am a motivational speaker, global success coach, and two-time author. So one of the things that I've learned is that life is not a straight line up. It's not a flat, boring line across the middle. And when things hit the fan, they don't stay down forever. And so my company evolved over years and years, and Patty and Rob, as we were thinking about how do we share the message and what should we help people with, the biggest aha, and especially in this past year, is that people are itching and aching to figure out who they really are and what they do best. So if you asked me 10 and 20 years ago what I do best, I think I would say master connector or marketer first, perhaps, right? Yeah. But even in my own life, it's evolved. So I've been, superstar launching global brands around the world. And then at 50, had a complete shitstorm meltdown, lost my biggest account, hundreds of thousands of dollars, flushed down the toilet with 2 kids in college. And I have to do my rock story.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you if you can do that.
Look at this. Can you see?
Yeah.
So this little box of rocks, the ultimate Pinterest gift is from my best friend. And it says 50 rocks and so do you. And there's 50 rocks with 50 things special about me. One says talkative and caring. And so I, at 50, in the middle of hormones, had to start all over again. And then cried for about a year and a half. It was a mess. It was bad. Now, you guys have seen me in this version of me, but picture top of the heap, bottom of the well, sobbing in ShopRite. It was ugly. And I realized that I was not the only one that's gone through an evolution. And one of the things that made the most sense to me was that the next time, as I'm reinventing myself, we all deserve to live a life that's fulfilling and meaningful. We need to understand our strength and our passion and what we really do best and how we show up in the world. And why not get paid while doing what you love? So forget about the labels. Forget about the I am ... in the past. And why not pay really close attention to why people thank you every day? It's really simple. Isn't that the most simple marketing 101 on the planet? So instead of calling myself a marketer or a branding expert, I realized that my gift is now helping other professionals, entrepreneurs, executives, all these tens of thousands of people doing a career shift. They're reaching out. I never called myself a career coach, but I realized I've been doing it all along. So the gift is helping people rock their career and their life without selling their soul or losing their mind. How's that for an avocation that makes you want to wake up every day and feel really cool about what you do? I love my life. I love what I do. I don't get Friday or Sundayitis. I don't watch the calendar, almost to a fault, because I work when I want, including the weekends sometimes, or I'm at the gym in the morning and I'm a midnight oil kind of girl, and it's all good. But the gift is helping people figure out your gift, what you do best, how you show up in the world, and how to tell that story. And so why Thinkific? Let's bring it full circle. Why? Why am I here? How did we become friends? How did this all happen? As I was finding my way, I did my master's at 40 online and became a global expert and media spokesperson for distance learning and managing and growing virtual teams. So I've been doing this since 2000, 2001, before 9/11. Right? So it just all fit and made sense. And I started taking online courses. I've done Blackboard, you name it, and I've probably done the platform over the last, literally, it's going to be almost 20 years. I sound like a dinosaur, but it's true. And so Thinkific as a student was my absolute favorite, best student user experience. I was on, I guess, Facebook. Someone did an ad or an offer. I went in, I did their freebie through the course. I took a $297 course. I took a $1997 course, became part of a tribe, and it grew. And it was by far and away the most easy peasy user experience on the planet. And the funny part is, I am not a techie. I'm a self-proclaimed non-techie. So one of the things I love doing is finding the easiest, best, most frictionless way, right? No friction is the goal, isn't it? Easy user experience to tell your message, to share your story in all its different formats. So I'm like the Pied Piper. As I learn things, I share them. And so taking the Thinkific program, I started noodling inside of it and said, oh, let me just try that and I'll see what I can build. And in about 6 weeks, I built 6 courses by myself.
Wow. It's incredible.
Because I always had the content. I'm prolific with content. We're all good at certain things. So one of the things that I've learned is that you're not supposed to be good at everything, but your collective team needs to be. So when you collaborate with people who are better at other things, they get to shine in what they do best, and you get to spend your time in what you do best, right? So that's good math. And when you're in a tool like Thinkific, it was the perfect place for someone like me who, I have adult ADD. My brain works way, you know this, Rob, Patty, way too fast. I'm always 3 steps down the road. This was the perfect place to capture all the little nuggets of, oh, I did a Facebook Live. Let me drop the recording in my course. Oh, this is a great value nugget. Let me build a little course. And it's just become my hub for all things about finding your personal brand, your business brand, about telling your story. I'm doing a vision board workshop Friday in New Jersey and online. My admin, Cynthia, is going to be dropping links, I guess, while we're talking too. But why? Because I did a vision board a couple of years ago, and I looked up in April. Now, the thing sat right in front of my face all January, February, March. I looked up in April and I realized I had already accomplished 75% of my goals for the year by April. Something to it. And so we teach it. I created a little program. It's in Thinkific. So it's the perfect place for people to take whatever you're good at, whatever that is, and capture the essence.
Drop in there.
Yeah. And make it look and sound and feel like you. So my site doesn't look like yours. It looks like me. And feels like me, and the next person and the next person and their style. And if you're techie, or if you're a math or a finance guru, or you know, color, and I've seen people that have done color consulting, all kinds of cool stuff in here. So it's awesome. So thank you for having me, and thank you, because I just have to tell you, your support makes all the difference. Because for a non-techie, this is all true. The non-techie in me says, okay, I usually can get 75% through, and inevitably I will screw something up, or a link won't work, or the video won't something techie will stop. And your team is unbelievable in responding and making sure that whatever goes, needs a little fix or a little tweak or an answer, you've always got the answer. So that to me is the holy grail final, put the bow around it moment.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Thanks, Pat. That's an amazing testimonial. And I think you've really been able to encapsulate your whole, in just a few minutes, encapsulate your whole story. And that's what that journey you got on. I'm glad you brought out the rocks as well, because I remember the very first time that you showed me that. Awesome. It was absolutely amazing. So there's a couple of things we wanted to talk about. So first, I want to give a quick shout out to everyone that's in there. So we've got Ali, we've got Karen, Linda, we've got lots of other people here.
Christina.
Got Thinkific, Christina. We've got lots of other people here in the room. So thank you so much. What we're going to be doing is we're going to go through a couple of questions. So let's go through these now. So Karen, actually, do you know what? Before I go through to Karen, I'm going to promise you I'm going to ask a question to Pat right now. I'm going to get that answered. But I want to quickly ask, because something quite personal here. You're talking about people that want to find themselves, find out who they are, maybe look for a career change or maybe jump on the entrepreneurship, wagon, so to speak. And obviously with New Year's, it's a new year, New Year's Day for the business world, working week and stuff. So a lot of people are going to be coming up to you and saying, I want to change my life. I want to, do X, Y, Z. What are the most common questions? What are the most common themes that you're seeing now, or that you get asked? Obviously, in your 20 plus years.
So I'm in New Jersey. Just so happens Verizon headquarters is 30 minutes away from here, and they offered a buyout to 40-something thousand people, and 10,000 plus people took a buyout, which means
wow.
They may have been working, many of them were working for 10, 20, 30 plus years. They've never had to brand themselves or interview or figure out what am I going to do for employment, because they loved it. It wasn't a bad thing for most of the ones I'm hearing from. They actually loved working there. They were happy. They love their team. So now they're like, what do I do? I've never had to be out in a job market or think about employment or funding the next half or chapter of my life. So many people don't know where to start. How do I even start when I've never done anything? I have no resume. Many of them didn't even have a LinkedIn. They have zero branding. They've got none of that stuff done because they were not planning it. Verizon made them an offer they couldn't refuse. I think they paid them 3 weeks instead of 2 for every year. I mean, like crazy good. Right. So it's a good problem. How do I start? Yeah. What do I do when I don't know what to do? And so I always first tell people breathe. Breathing is good. Of course. Step 1, breathe. Step 2, get crystal clear on your priorities, because if the world is your oyster and you have an open plate and let's see where the wind takes you kind of moment, that doesn't happen all the time. And they've actually got money to do it, to follow their passion. So they've got a little bit of time to get the best career job, to start their business, whatever they choose. I tell people, I actually created a tool. It's a soul searching assessment. And the reason I did it is because I think people need to understand what's important to them. And I like to think about it when you say, well, what does that mean? There's too many variables. How do I get clear on it? Mindset. What are the things that matter most to you? What are the things that used to keep you up at night? What are the things that when you start your day, you love and hate about what you're doing? You guys are always on fire. You're always lit. You're always in it. There is no doubt that you're doing what you love and you're great at, because your faces glow. It's not always perfect, but we're always laughing, having fun.
And it's not because we're overexposed right now. Yeah. We've been trying to get that fixed, but
I know I'm underexposed. I'm figuring that out.
My skin looked pretty good, though, I must say.
So you follow me? So mindset is number 1. What are the things up here? The most important 5 inches are between your ears as far as what's important. Skill set. They have no idea what's actually marketable of what they know. Right? And tool set. What are the things you need to fill the gap from where you were to where you need to be? So if we slow down and start to think about what's most important, what are the things people thank us for all the time? Right? Think about that. Why do people go, oh my God, you guys are the best. You saved me because ... You have talent. We all have innate talent. That's why I do a lot with strength assessment when I start with people, only because most people guess wrong about what they're actually best at, because the things that we really are good at are almost like breathing. I don't know. I didn't know this before, but you are innately pre-programmed before birth to excel in areas. It's not a coincidence how we show up. Right? So I'm an activator. I get things done. Shocker, right? Strategic. We know what that means. Maximizer, finding the best in people. I don't beg people, come on, you know you're good. It's okay. Like, that's not me. But I love working with people who know they're awesome and just want to figure out, what am I going to do with that awesomeness? How do I share it with the world? Individualization, which means taking content and ideas and making sure you get what you need out of it, which Thinkific is perfect for that. And then positivity. The glass isn't only half full. I'm grateful for the glass every single day, right? So that's why people come. And you each, everybody out there has their strength. So what am I best at? What do I really care about? What matters, right? What are the skills and the talents and the tools I'm good at? And then how do I fill the gap from where I was? How do I tell that story? There may not even be an actual gap. Sometimes it's just a matter of learning how to express it. Where I was to where I want to be. Because if people understand that this vehicle is a storytelling tool, Thinkific is a storytelling tool, right? So it's a great place. You can capture audio and video and quizzes and testimonials and ratings and PDFs and every format. You've not stumped me yet on things that can somehow be worked in, right, to the platform, which is really cool. So you can help people no matter what their learning style or their storytelling, their teaching style. I get a lot of people who they're like, I only ever had a job. I don't know if I want to be an entrepreneur, but I want to up level and be on a board of directors, or I'd rather lead teams. I don't want to have to be the one doing the work. Thinkific is the perfect platform to take one piece of one thing you do best and start with that. I know, Patty, you've helped. We've done private trainings, and that's all. I have it right on my screen, the Rock Your Online course. It's all in there. And I save and archive all of our trainings. This training will go in to the Academy as well. So people can access the entire program and get their 30-day free trial all right within Thinkific, because it's value. But you always help us with, take one idea, one thing. You don't have to know everything. It doesn't even have to be fully fleshed out. But even if you're looking for a job, imagine having an academy, a course, documenting the one thing that you're really super cool good at. And when someone wants, you're going for a new job, oh, I'm an expert. I'm an online learning instructor and course builder. That's a really cool thing to be able to add to your repertoire, isn't it?
Definitely.
Even if your course takes 5 minutes. I've got one about how to rock your virtual coffee. I teach people how to use Thinkific and Acuity and create a short Bitly link.
Yeah.
It's literally 5 minutes. You can watch it on your phone. But I teach you how to create an invitation to get somebody on a Zoom or on a call with you that doesn't sound salesy or sleazy. 5 minutes. Yeah. That could be your course. It could be as simple as one tiny little thing you do that makes your life easier, because I guarantee other people will be like, wow, that's really smart. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
So that's the fun.
That's a really good point there. And I think one thing that stands out is that you talked about a few things that are common in course creation, where you're like bridging the gap from A to B on someone's either experience or how they're trying to get the message out there, and also working on that one thing first. I want to just quickly just go into a couple of questions. I know because Karen's asked one right at the start, so we want to make sure we get that in.
Sure.
So Karen, thank you so much for popping this over. So Karen is a course creator here on Thinkific. She's currently on a free plan. And she says, I've got 3 courses right now, and she's not making many sales right now. So I guess that I've got a question back to you, Karen. I know Pat has as well. And I think later down the comments, Karen mentioned that she's got that her course is on vision boards as well. So what I would always ask, Karen, is that if you're teaching an online course, who is it you're targeting? Think about who is it you're targeting and what's the outcome you're looking to give to that audience. Because if you've not validated your course yet, and if you've not figured out who is going to be potentially be buying your course, and you validated as market demand, that could be the reason why you're not seeing as many sales. Because you could have, what you may well have done is just built the entire A to Z of how to do something. You perhaps not figured out where within those sections are going to appeal to most within that audience. And that's all actually goes back to what Pat was saying about you've got to pick that one thing that you know that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's interesting. That could help me. Pat, what do you think? Am I on the right track there?
You are totally on the right track. So you don't have to have it all built. First of all, that's one of the misnomers, right? You don't, trying to get a little brighter here. You don't have to have it all built. In fact, maybe you shouldn't have it all built. You can have the outline and you can test the market. I do a lot of creating the outline, maybe the first or second module, I'll have the freebie. So this is how I use Thinkific. You'll go in and I have my free low-hanging fruit, free whatever, which I use as a free trial inside Thinkific. So when someone's going to log in, I don't just hand them the PDF. They need to log in because I actually want them to get comfortable in the environment of Thinkific without even realizing they are. Just kind of put them into the environment. So they get to see that it's a course. They get to go in as a free trial. They get to see the rest of the surround sound, experience the free trial. And then we follow up with email and stuff. But I often will, if you've got a Facebook group of your own, which is a great way to build authority, or an email list or both, or some other groups you hang out in, you can run a beta test. Like one of my groups does a $50 Friday promotion. So I will create, even if it's $1,000 course, I will create a $50 Friday offer and get a bunch of people in it to go click all the buttons and test all the links and try it and give me feedback. So
that's a really good point.
Value. You're in the environment. You're now, you've built a course. You haven't finished. Nobody cares. Nobody knows that you haven't finished yet because you're taking them through a journey.
That's a really good point. And I think that so Karen mentions here on her follow-up people, she's polled her group. Yeah. But I think if you that's like half of the puzzle. You need to be sure that you're always chatting with your chatting with your students, again, by Facebook group, LinkedIn group, or within WhatsApp, the app, or WhatsApp, however it is. Yeah. And you need to be getting that assessment, because what may have happened, Karen, is that you've got your course. It could be good. Again, you could have validated your course with your audience. They said, look, this is what I want to learn. But perhaps if they didn't complete all of it and they left maybe at the start, then maybe the course itself is not perhaps really like hitting those points. So what I would say to anyone that's creating a course out there, it's really, really, really important that you are like always assessing your assessing and getting feedback from your students every single step of the process. Yes. So there was something I was looking at yesterday. I was doing some goal setting. I've got to lose a bit of weight for my wedding next year, so it's the only thing I can't seem to stick to right now. But I was looking at these. I was looking at this diet plan, this meal plan, and I looked at the questions. A lot of them you could probably just put into the Thinkific, into the Thinkific system. You could rate each part of the module, say how rate out of 1 to 5, did you get the outcome you are looking for? And on the next question, you could say, now give me a free text answer on why you feel this was, why.
Yes.
Rated. So like if it was a 1, why did you rate it a 1? It was a 1 because, I done a million sit-ups, I still didn't get a 6-pack, whatever it is. Okay. So like that's, so I think if you can incorporate questions like that, you get great response and great feedback from everyone.
Yes. Can I share that too? I tried asking those questions in different ways.
Yeah, go ahead.
And so far, the one that seems to make it easiest for people to answer in their own words is to say, what was your big aha takeaway? Right? So that's kind of what resonated most with you. And then the second, and this is after every chapter, and I just started doing this actually, so I'm still learning, but what's your big aha takeaway? And then what else would you love to learn now? Because it'll give you feedback on maybe it's coming later in the course. Maybe you haven't thought to add it. Maybe you can do a little video, maybe when you do a thing like this. So I've taken part of what I'm sharing with you now is questions, comments, feedback that people have been asking along the journey. Because if one person asks it, another 1,000 people are thinking it, right? We all have similar questions if you really think about it. So that to me was very helpful as well. So what's your big aha takeaway?
Good.
And what else would you love to learn now?
It's good.
Yeah, and I think that's important. The now, like right now, that's because that's exactly what they want to know there and then, or potentially like next, as soon as they finish that module. Super smart.
Well, yeah, because if somebody says, for example, somebody says, I'm learning, but I really need help implementing this, bam, my team is on the phone with them or sending them a Facebook message or what have you. If you want one-on-one coaching or done for you service, let's jump on a quick call and figure out what's going to help you fastest.
And you know what? That's a really interesting point, because I think some people who either can't afford like a done for you service, they want to try the DIY method and it might work. And then you get some people who probably can afford the done for you service, but just want to do it themselves. But obviously that's going to cost them their time. It's going to cost them their money. And then they're going to be like, "Whoa, I've got all this information, but I still don't know what to do." So yeah, like I think you've nailed it. You've now obviously clearly nailed a great process there to follow up with people if they're getting success or not. I want to just ask a question this is from Be Present Wellness LLC. So thank you so much for joining us on the live. And the question is, Pat, how do you find the motivation to let go of 2018's or the previous year's challenges and beyond to get yourself? So it sounds like, how do you sort of get yourself out of that negative mindset?
Get a fresh start.
Get a fresh start. Yeah.
Well, life is a reset button, right? We get only one chance. Today is our day. And I lost my brother to cancer last year at 56. It was awful. And when you go through a really crappy thing like that, you find gratitude. Your choices are you can be bitter and angry, or you can find gratitude. That's the way I looked at it. So first of all, waking up with gratitude. In my book, I actually create a process. I talk about every morning, a ritual. And if you remind yourself when you brush your teeth, then you kind of can't forget in the morning and at night, at a minimum. I hope we all brush our teeth at least twice a day. But when you open your eyes in the morning, don't pick up your phone. Don't. Why? Right? Don't even leave it in your room if you don't have to. Use an alarm clock and leave the phone out of your room. Take a few deep breaths. Think of at least 3 moments or reasons for gratitude and 2 priorities that you would like to accomplish, so that when you put your head on the pillow at night, you've got 2 things that you've gotten done. If we think about our real to-do list, we could probably all vomit. There's just way too much. We'll never get caught up. We will never, ever be done, I think. If you're done, then something's probably not right either. Mm-hmm. So why not start with gratitude? And for the things that haven't quite worked out, this is our chance to say thank you for the learning and hit the reset button and start over. I literally disassociated with one of my vendors at 9:00 on New Year's Eve. Lovely timing, but it was time. The guy was a jerk and he wasn't delivering and it was bothering me and I was going to fire him. Long story. Anyway.
Yeah.
And I get this message at 9:00 on New Year's Eve. I have a house full of 20 people in my house, mind you. And instead of being angry, bitter, frustrated, I was frustrated, but I woke up in the morning and said, wow, that was the biggest blessing, because now I get to start my new year fresh with better people who will be able to be excited and do the right thing. So instead of being bitter and angry about what didn't work, I paid attention to the learning from inside, and now we'll do better. And inside Thinkific, if you want to frame it in the course implementation part, re-record. You can add more worksheets. I went and I've redone a lot of my branding, and I went back and looked at my worksheets and stuff, and I have a new designer. My art director is just phenomenal. And so my stuff looks so much better, I think. And I've now gone in slowly and had her tweak and upgrade the old stuff. If you don't like the way you look, or you feel like you have bad hair, or you're mumbling on your words because it's your first time on video, re-record. And if not today, go back another day or another week later re-record. That's the beauty of having this flexible platform. You can turn around and say, hey, guess what? Like I'm going to do with this. Hey, guess what? I've got a whole new training that we're adding inside the Rock Your Online course, which is what I call my Thinkific partnership course. It's, you know, almost $4,000 worth of training. It's all free. And we give the 30-day free trial. It's all in there. I'm going to add this, and then I'll put a note out to my audience saying, guess what? I was on with Rob and Patty. There's some cool updated information. Check it out.
Perfect.
Reinvent yourself. Learn what worked. If the photos look ugly, take new ones. If the video's choppy, redo it. It's don't expect perfection, because that's the thing to let go of, right? Patty, if you're trying to do something about reshaping yourself, that, you know, we eat and breathe every day. So it's not like you can just duct tape your mouth shut. I have the same problem. So I'm with you.
Could sometimes.
Well, right. Duct tape. I always say I'm on the duct tape diet. That would be great, but it's not reality. So we get a chance to reinvent ourselves every day. Start with reasonable goals.
Yeah.
Don't try to take on too much. If you get through your 2 priorities in a day, then you can do another one. But don't make yourself cray-cray trying to be more than you possibly can, because you'll always feel like you're behind. And that's a really crappy, ugly existence.
Yeah.
And then the courses just update, add a module. You don't have to have it done. Start out with one module and then 2. And someday it may become more. They may become separate courses, or like I built my entire mastermind is built inside Thinkific. All my stuff. It is phenomenal because I can do once and use many.
That's amazing.
Right.
And that's the goal, right? When you're coaching, you've been doing a lot of one-on-one for a long time. You know, it's only you've only got so many hours in a day, and you want to help more people. So online course is a great way to do it. I want to just let's have a quick jump into any other questions that have come in so far. We've got Aaron has joined us. Aaron, hey mate, thanks for joining us. And that's Aaron from Thinkific, a #1 fan. He's always coming to join us live.
He's a big help. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, he does an amazing job.
Aaron's
Aaron,
fantastic.
you're a superstar, mate. Thank you so much. Let's quickly see if we've got anything else. Okay, so we've got Ali who's jumped in. Great question here, actually. Let me see if I can get this up. Here it is. So, hi, Pat. I'm starting. So, this is Ali Fabish. So, Ali, thank you so much for joining us on today's live. And says, hi, Pat. I'm starting from a 0 list of leads. What was the best thing you did to start your lead list and sign up? So, example, what channels did you find the best? And what type of content worked?
Good question.
Great content.
That's a great question.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've had my business 30 years, so there was no digital. The word digital marketing, take the word digital out, there was none. So literally being your authentic self, getting clear on your message so that whenever you introduce yourself, people can understand, and there's a format for this. Hi, I'm blank. My gift is blank. I help, and then you identify who your ideal audience is. And when I teach them or give them or do whatever, like 3 words, blank, they feel blank. Who else do you know that might need that kind of help? Right? So a very short way to introduce yourself. And when you do that, people will start to know maybe they don't need what you do, but it will prompt someone to think about it. You definitely need a place to capture your connections and emails. Don't let the desk. All right, here. Now, these are all done, so I can show you this because these are done, but, right?
Yeah.
That was
I got that from the CAPS convention. I've still got piles of business cards on my desk.
Right?
Yeah.
So get the app on your phone or have an email. I started with MailChimp many years ago. I use ActiveCampaign. I find it to be easy peasy. It works great. I can still go in and work with it. It's integrated with Thinkific. Have a place to capture and just ask them, hey, I'm going to be creating this awesome blog, Recipes for Success. Can I share it with you? Yes, that means they've opted in, or you can put an app on your phone. They can opt in right there on your phone. So there's easy ways to do it. When I do a lot with speaking, here's a ninja no tech tip to get them into your tech.
Love those.
Right? Yeah. Whenever I do a workshop, I have it's my money sheet. It's a single 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, literally. And on the top, it's got boxes. How would you rate the speaker, the topic, the content, 0 to 5? 5 is awesome. 0 is you stink. So my goal is to try to get 25 points out of them. And I tell them up front, I challenge you to be really harsh with me. I need to earn this. If I stink, give me a 0. And if I rock your world, make sure you give me 5 times 25. That's my goal. I'm here to work for it. And then I ask, what was your aha question? Does it sound familiar, Rob? Right? Yep. What was your aha takeaway? What's the one thing you still want to learn? And any other comments? So score, 3 short open-ended questions. And at the bottom, it says, thanks so much. Would you like to join my email list? Would you like my free soul searching assessment? So I put 1 or 2 free, join my free Facebook group. Check. Or would you like a discovery session to learn about working one-on-one or in group with Pat? Check.
Awesome.
Now I've got them opted in with their email and their phone number with exactly how they want to be followed up.
Let's see.
Right? Yeah. Old school, cheap, easy, effective. And I went around and I did Rotary talks. I had a client way back. I'm talking like 1990. Again, I'm a dinosaur. 10 lower no-cost ways to market your business was the topic. And it was at a Rotary meeting at 7:30 a.m. in my town. And about 40 people were there slugging down their coffee with one eye open listening. And I did my 10 lower no-cost tips. I gave them my 20 question marketing needs assessment, a diagnostic tool. And I said, this is $2,500 if you work with me. I'm handing it to you. Knock yourself out. Good luck. This will help you. If you can get your thoughts on one page, put everything here, copy and paste and dump it here. Go over it with your team, use it with my blessing. If you need help, call me. And the next day a guy called and he told me he fired his marketing director and he wanted me to work. And I was like, dude, no, thank you. I don't want a job. But it was the door opener. And I got him to take the salary, cut it in half, divide by 12. And it was my first $5,000 a month retainer. Woohoo!
Yeah.
And then I found out he owned more businesses and it went on from there. Now, if you think about it, that is a sales funnel. It was a live talk. It was 15 minutes. I had a sheet of paper with them giving me feedback so I could follow up and they had their permission. And I gave away a free tool that was super incredibly valuable because one of the things it made them realize is, wow, this problem is bigger than me. I need help because if I am supposed to know how to answer this, I don't. And you need to.
Absolutely.
Right? Somebody in your team needs to. And if no one can answer the questions, there's a gap that needs to be filled somehow. And perhaps you, again, if you were a tax specialist or you were an art director or whatever you do, your genius comes into play. There's a reason you can give free help. My realtor's coming back over. I will hire her. She's probably watching right now, but hands down.
The price has gone up then straight away, Pat.
But she came in organized and gave me all the tools and said, here's how we do this. And this is what the free assessment's going to include. And what will happen is I already know that she's got all the marketing down pat. She asked the right questions. She made me think outside of my original thought. She gave me some work to do, right? And I know that it's going to have to be a partnership to really make it work. That's what we all try to accomplish in our life, whether we're looking for a job or whether we're looking to, maybe I had a job and I want to be an entrepreneur, or I don't even know yet. Figure out your gift, find a way to have a story to tell. And of course we teach that. That's one of the things we teach and coach on, but your genius, free tools, a way to capture their information with their permission. You can't spam people because that's lousy. So it doesn't matter if you have 20 people on your email list. Like I have these people. These were amazing people. These were CEOs of companies. I was at an executive women and the woman said to me, God sent you here tonight. You're here for me. I can't believe you do what you do. I need you.
Amazing.
Bam. Right? So am I going to spam these people? No. I'm going to very politely say, Happy New Year. Hope you had a great time with your family. We talked about X because I'll know because I wrote it on the back of the card.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I have a little code. I have a little code, all my little scribbles so I can follow up. It's low tech. Like I said, I've done this way too long, so I still use some low tech things. But then I will invite them into something in my Thinkific Academy that will give them value. and I will invite them to a virtual coffee to chat if they want to explore working together.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Right? So low tech meets high tech, very easy, very non-salesy, non-scammy, spammy.
Yeah.
Right? Not icky at all. And it's not for everybody, but those people, like, you know, when they tell you that God sent you to them, you know that there's a good chance you're going to at least be friends and have a few laughs and perhaps work together. So who are those people for you? That's the question we all need to ask. Who are those people who ache for whatever it is that you're really good at?
Yeah, that's a really great point. And I think, like, you know, the power of meetups, the power of doing talks is something that's like probably like underutilized right now. So I would say to Ali, if you're still trying to figure out what social channels or where to actually go find his clients, put yourself in your customer or your students' shoes. Where are they going to be hanging out? It's all those things, like what publications are going to be reading. You know, what is it do you think they're going to be doing on a daily basis? Look, you know, go organize a meetup group for whatever you're specializing in right now. So if you're Rob currently is organized a Vancouver-based meetup for YouTubers. Anyone that's a YouTuber can come on to Thinkific office. You know, we host some drinks, have some beer and pizza and stuff, and everyone gets to chat. You know, and that, you know, for Rob later down the line, if he wants to start his own YouTube consultancy business, he's already got a whole bank of leads that he could potentially go and work with. You know, so you need to do a few of those. You need to do a few of those things. So meetups are a great way to do it. But if you're strictly talking about where to go and find the right leads, I would actually say look at Facebook. You know, 2 billion plus users. You're gonna find a few people there for sure. But LinkedIn, just LinkedIn's great. And I know, Pat, you're obviously like one of some of the stuff that Pat was. I thought I knew a lot about LinkedIn, but when I finally got a chance to talk about Pat, my mind was like I can't believe. You know, the LinkedIn like Profiler is like obviously an amazing tool as well. So yeah, if you're based in the States, like I would actually, Pat, can we touch on that briefly? You know, if you're someone based in the States and you can use the LinkedIn Profiler tool.
Sure. So here's the trick. You asked a really great question around how do I find these people? Part of it is knowing your message. And like Patty just said, knowing your audience. Now, I work primarily with professionals who are looking to either pivot in their career and elevate their career. So they're typically 6-figure executives. They may be entrepreneurs. They may be professionals who aren't sure, but people planning their second act, their encore performance, the next chapter. They are in a business development mindset. They're not shopping for handbags or anything like that. So they are definitely, in my world, more of a LinkedIn kind of audience than the Facebook freebie kind of audience, so to speak. So I actually found something called LinkedIn Profinder. We're not going to get into it. I think we're going to do a separate interview just on that alone. Okay. But if you want, I'll actually share the screen. Should I do that?
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it. We've been talking, but we haven't shared. So let's just peek a second. If I can.
So whilst you're doing that, we're going to give a couple of shout outs to people. So we've got Evelyn says, I love the idea of a meetup. Hi, Evelyn. Thanks so much for joining us. Sylvia says, get crystal clear on what your gifts are and discover your best career move with Pat's free soul search assessment. Yeah,
that's my girl. She's
Nora says, so a bit of love here from Nora. So Nora says, after creating a couple of multi-million-dollar programs for someone else using other delivery platforms, I'm so excited to be using Thinkific to create my own course this year. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. Love that you make it so easy to help coaches, consultants make a massive impact. Nora, thank you so much. Nora. It was going to be an amazing 2019 with you here on the platform. So thank you for that amazing testimonial.
Nora is a genius, by the way. She's part of our tribe. She's an amazing funnel builder. So the dynamic duo, she's amazing.
Can't wait. Well, Nora, we'll get you on for a live at some point.
Absolutely.
Once you go for a few weeks in on the live, and then we'll and let us know your experiences. I think that could be a great story to share.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you were talking about how do you take all these genius and create courses. I didn't try to start out with too much, but what I did do is did some branding photo shoots, as you can see. Can you see the screen or no?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I call it the Rock On Success Academy. My brand in the last couple of years evolved. It's called Rock On Success. So if somebody sees rocks, they know it's me, right? created courses for, here's the vision board workshop. So it's live or online. So somebody could log in and access the stuff. This is the Rock Your Online course. So the goal is to access all the Thinkific tools and the training that we have done together over time. Right, Patty? This is where we're storing, and this video will be added into the program. Rock Your Career Transformation. This is the program that came out of all those requests coming in from LinkedIn. I didn't call myself a career coach, but I realized I've been helping people build a personal brand. So create a program where they can actually figure out what their gifts are, do the soul searching assessment, right? Here's the mastermind. That's my big cornerstone plan, and Rock Your Career Potential. What do you do about it? So you can get a free thing. You can get $97. There's 4 to 5 times that. And there's 4 to 5 times that. ProFinder, again, that was training. It's only in the US. I go behind the scenes and teach people how they can become an expert recommended status person so that LinkedIn sends you the leads without buying ads. I pay $0 for paid ads. And they send me 1 to 2 dozen people every single day. Then you can see my profile makeover magic, just to give you guys kind of an example. And look, virtual coffee, this one is free. It's literally 5 minutes. It plays beautifully on your phone. This is all I do is teach how do you set up appointments and virtual coffee with people so you get them on the phone without sounding salesy. Rock Your Golf. I just became an LPGA brand ambassador globally. Isn't that crazy? Wow. They called me. So I've got a program for people to get them to use golf. This is Rick Reynolds, one of my mastermind partners who teaches about aligning with life's purpose. So you can feel a theme of how to serve people and how to help you figure out your gifts, but we make it very super easy to be able to dig in and figure out what makes you, you. And the Thinkific platform, again, I built this myself. This is so easy. So you take your copy that you're using in other places, in your email, whatever. It's time for soul searching. Here's data that shows why it's important. Here's some of those questions so you know if it's you. Here's a testimonial. I didn't wait till the end. I dropped a testimonial right smack in the middle of the course outline, right? In the offer. Right? We talk about leveraging. You know, you want to make people have 1, 3, 5, 7, an odd number, some easy 1, 2, 3 kinds of steps, whatever it is you teach. So I have 3: mindset, skill set, tool set. And I talk about why. And then I created these blueprints for moving on, moving up, moving over. So you can kind of see this 3-prong, 3 easy things, 3 easy steps, 3 priorities, 3, 3, 3, make it simple. And then Thinkific takes you in, and then you see the curriculum. And look, there's free previews. So I have URL short links that lead people into my free tool, but they get to see it in the context of the course, right?
I see.
It's super clean, super easy. There's the about instructor. Every one of you has all this, and there's all these different styles. You have so many great templates that allow us to make it feel like ourselves and look like our branding and use our colors and use our fonts and all those great things. So that's the magic. You make it really, really, really simple to be able to go in. This is Rock Your Online course. This is me sharing all my Thinkific love, right?
Yeah, that's right. I want to quickly just, we've got a follow-up question from Ali here, and I think this is really, really personal. I think it's going to really help. So I'm gonna, if you don't mind, Pat, I'm gonna give my 2 cents on it, and then obviously I'll let the expert answer after that. So Ali asks, I have a lot of LinkedIn contacts, but it's my personal profile in my current job as I work full time. I'm hesitant to switch it up to my new venture as I feel like I would be spamming my contacts. None of them know that I'm about to launch. How do I ease myself into it? So, I mean, that's actually quite a long, quite
pretty
big,
common, actually.
Yeah, quite common question. Right?
Absolutely. Great question.
Right. LinkedIn started off as like a resume site. And we, Trevor Turnbull, the 3 of us, Rob, Trevor Turnbull, and I were talking about this recently. I think I asked almost the same question. I was like, so how could someone change their profile? And you have to start providing content on LinkedIn to pull that ideal customer in. So if your current connection base is not who you want to be targeting, which actually if you're targeting people in your work sphere, they probably are they probably could well be the right people for you. But put content out that attracts the the type of customer or the type of student that you're looking for, but also start connecting with people. You need to make that do those reps that Trevor was saying, needs to do those reps every single day to connect with people and to offer help and to offer support and deliver value up front without any expectation of anything coming back, certainly within the short to medium term anyway. So Ali, I would say, like, look at your and this is something that we say during the online course creation blueprint, is to just make an announcement to your network. If you and Pat, I know you might have a different idea on this. Make an announcement to your network and say, hey, I'm thinking of creating a course on whatever your specialist topic is. Is there anyone within my network be interested in coming to beta testers with me, or coming to help, help shape the course with me? And I'll give you free access for life to the course. Something on those lines, maybe like limited to the first 20 people, maybe the first 10 people, maybe even pick 5 people, just pick 5 people, and then go and get that feedback. And then you can also use a link, maybe a link on your Thinkific, a link to your Thinkific site to capture the email address, or you could use even like the absolute bare bones like type form with an opt-in there or something like that to get that information from your users. So put the message out there to your network, and then get yourself into the groups, and then start helping them there. And again, like Pat was saying earlier, like direct them into your Thinkific school to capture leads. What do you think, Pat? Is there anything else we could do to add to that? Is there anything else?
Yeah, so those are great tips. Absolutely phenomenal tips. And I agree with everything that you said. I will add a few tiny tweaks. So LinkedIn is not an online resume. LinkedIn is your storytelling opportunity. So you are not jammed into a little box of who you were. It's not supposed to be that at all. There are tweaks and rules, ways to show up better with the algorithm. So understanding how LinkedIn, so for example, your title under your headline, under your name, under your picture, does not have to be the title of your current job at all. That is keyword searchable. So that's where you put out your expertise, what you're into, your summary. There's a magic and a formula to creating a summary that sings and tells the story you want to tell. Wayne Gretzky, the famous hockey player, Hall of Famer, always said his success came from skating to where the puck will be.
Yeah.
All right. Now there's a visual.
Yeah.
If you skate to the puck, you're always wrong. You're always too late and $1 short.
That's right.
LinkedIn is the place for you to set your aspiration, to talk about who you are evolving into, and to attract your ideal audience for your mission of who you are and where you want to be. There are a few little nuances if you're in a job and looking to do something that you don't want anybody at your work to know about, because I get a lot of those people. So that's one set of challenges, and there's some tactful ways to do that. You still can talk about your passion. I have a passion for blah, blah, blah. In my spare time, I blah, blah, blah. As a volunteer, I blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of ways to do it. You can update LinkedIn, and turn off or turn on the notification. So I show you how to save the last update and make sure the notification settings turned on so it notifies your connections about changes. Think about it from, you don't want to be spammed yourself, but if somebody reached out and said, I use LinkedIn Messenger every day, all day. I get a lot of engagement there. People are on it live.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
So being on top of that and creating here's a ninja tip. I actually have a set of templated little conversation starters, because I know over time, these are the kinds of things people are looking for or asking for, or if they came in through ProFinder, that they're seeking. So I already have the templates figured out, and then I can copy and paste at least 75% of my message and then drop in a little bit of, hey, Patty, by the way, loved your pictures from Cancun. Talk to this one. And FYI, did you know, right? So the 75% of it's there with a link to something that'll help you.
That's great.
And then, but it's still customized.
Yeah.
That's the magic of LinkedIn. That's why real relationships happen. That's why I do the virtual coffees, because if you said to someone, I am about to pivot and am looking for, some feedback in exchange, if you could give me 10 minutes of feedback, I'd be willing to blah, blah, or something. But I also did a lot of posting content around or sharing content. Like Harvard Business Review just did this amazing article about 10 things you're probably doing to screw up your career promotion. Great. HBR. So I just said, by the way, how many of these 10 which of the 10 are you guilty of? Something like that. So I didn't have to write all the content, but I continue to share really important content around the topic, right? With the vision boards. Who are you trying to attract with the vision board workshop? What is that about? Who is it for? Now, for me, last year I called mine Goals and Gratitude Vision Board Workshop. This is my 3rd annual. So this year it's New Year, Better Career is the theme for my vision board workshop. So I have a reason to go back and reinvite the career changers because that will ring a bell. So pay attention, customize. You can use posts. They now take video, which is awesome.
Yeah.
You can do a daily video post. It's all free, guys. It's free, right? You can do that. You can post articles, and then lead them back to your website and to your Thinkific course. I do that all day long. So be relevant, share and give more than you take and ask, right? Don't sound slimy with it. And if you're stuck, hey, I'm stuck. I keep getting questions about this. What were your answers? Or I even posted all over. You guys saw me do this. I'm going to be talking about how to elevate your career status, grow a fan, raving fans, and monetize your genius. Who's got questions around online courses so I can bring them up during the interview? Yep. So I posted that all over the place. And that's how we got a lot of people who are live on now, and or the things we're mentioning, all of us, are because we know that these are questions people have asked. So we seeded the conversation without trying to sell them. Bye. We're helping people. So if you take what you know and spark conversation. So now I'll go in Messenger and I'll say, by the way, did you see this HBR article? It's awesome. Are you, I break rule number 2, but I fix it. What about you?
Interesting. So you're already like initiating that conversation, like straight away. It's, oh, I'm number 2. What about you, Rob? You number 3. Yeah. What about you, Pat? You number 4.
That's great.
That's a great way to do it. And again, it's very genuine as well. It's not just, hey, I'd like to connect with you because reasons. That sort of thing. It has to, that's a really good, that's a really smart way.
Yeah, there's a guy. So one of the guys online who just did a training course. He obviously had a bunch of people graduate from his university. I'll just put it in quotes and leave it at that.
Yeah.
And so he gave them templates, obviously. And I have gotten at least 24 people verbatim language, exactly word for word, spamming my inbox, trying to get me to want to speak with them, to have them do X, Y, and Z service for my business. So he taught them how to search on LinkedIn. He said, and here's the templates that you can use. And 9 out of 10 have literally cut and paste to the point. I already know when I click on I do it just now for laughs. I click on their profile because I know what I'm going to see when I click on the profile, because they all came from the same place. And I just talked to one of their guys today and I said, you need to go back and tell him to teach them how to customize it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you've completely
you're now the same as everyone
yourself.
In that audience, right? In that.
Or you just become a bot, basically.
Or you become a bot. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're not a high ticket closer. Why would I trust you to be my high ticket closer if you don't know the value of customization and actually either looking at my stuff to know what I'm about, right? That's what I do. If I want to speak with you, Patty, Rob, I saw pictures. I saw it was your son's 9th birthday. Happy birthday. Like,
thank you.
This is what, but isn't that how we're people?
Yeah. It's building real relations, authenticity is like, I know a lot of people like the authenticity. It's like such an overused word, but it's true though. Like you've got to build proper relationships with people and warts and all. Is that expression, right? People got to see the good and a bit of the bad as well, and that's what people find, because no one is perfect. You can always have that. You can give yourself that, trying to keep that image 100% is like,
no. In fact, one of the guys said, oh, by the way, I went on your website and a link was broken. And I'm like, cool, that's so great. Tell me anything else that's broken. I'm going to send them a Starbucks $5 gift card because he took the time. Like I never claim perfection. Oh, it's scary. It's really ugly. It's not even worth it. So just be real and say, that's cool. Thank you so much. And I do the same thing. Don't you? If you find typos on somebody's site, I'll screen grab it and say, I'm sorry,
definitely.
the old editor in
100%.
me, I can't not see this. So I thought you'd want to see it.
Yeah. That's
Just
absolutely true.
Little stuff. But I just thought about the other thing for that person who asked before about building your presence. They need to get on podcasts and interviews like we're doing. Not just speaking, right? It's not just the leaving your house and speaking live at a location, but you can do online meetups, and they should be reaching out. If they have expertise that they can share with you, they should reach out to you, et cetera, and do that as well. I think that, again, it's just authenticity, and it's about paying attention to what people need, because they're helping you by being a guest on your show and helping educate your audience. It's getting more people more enamored with Thinkific and knowing that you guys are the best and that you really care about us as individuals, because you do. I really feel like you do. And as business owners and as people we all percolate. We do a lot of this thinking and putting ideas out there, and then you guys find a way to make it happen. So podcasters are waiting for, yes, they need you. Reporters need you. I use Help a Reporter Out, Haro. Have you heard of that?
Yep.
I think I might have even sent you some leads.
So. Yeah.
Help a Reporter Out, HARO. They send in leads to my inbox 3 times a day of what media are looking to interview. I've been on a couple of things in the last 2 weeks just from Bink. But you have to be prepared. It's always about who are you? What is your zone of genius? How do you help people? And being able to tell that.
Great tip. That's an amazing tip, in fact. So I really hope, Ali, jump on that. It seems like you've got a lot of your stuff already sorted. Yeah. You just she mentioned something here on the chat. It says, I guess I just need the confidence to shout about what I'm venturing into. And do it. Like, Ali, don't just dive into it. Take that, dive in and go for it, mate. Like you literally have nothing to lose right now. You have nothing to lose. And make 2019 your best start yet. Make it the number one thing that you're going to do. Just take that start. Don't even set
a goal for January and say, in January, I'm going to add 5 new people into my program to beta test. And by February, I'm going to blah, blah. Like, you could make it. That's why I wrote my books. I did it in 90-day game plan, because sometimes, and I felt like Ali, I get where she's coming from. You know that you're good at something. You're like, what do I do with it? So if you chunk it out, look at maybe a year, January 2nd next year, let's all make a commitment of what will be different and better about our lives and what we do and how we serve the world. It's not only just about money. That's one of the things I have been learning lately. It's definitely not just about money. Some people want to actually work less.
Well, that's worth more to people, right? Your time, in a lot of ways, is probably worth more than what you're earning right now. So you want to be able to have those special moments with your friends and family or your loved ones, whoever it is. That's really, really important. Right. Pat, I want to get a couple more questions in here because I realize we've gone over the hour. So first, thank you. Thank you so much. Are you good to?
Couple more questions.
Couple more questions.
Yes, my peeps know that anybody who was supposed to be on talking with me privately, I just steered them here anyway. So.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, perfect. So
you want to me and the boys, we're online. Go.
Yes. So Ron asks a really good question. It says, I train people live and in person. And actually, Pat, I think you can. I'm going to let you answer this one. This is perfect. I train people live and in person, and I'm concerned about the loss of touch of real-time responsiveness in an online space. What are some of the strategies you recommend to engage people at a high level?
Zoom. Zoom. I live on Zoom. We live on Zoom. Don't you feel like we're sitting in a living room, except we're talking to each other instead of texting? It's great, right? So I run 2 masterminds, global, and one is sort of Northeast US, not necessarily, but it just kind of works out that way. So engaging people around the world and living a laptop life, that was one of my goals a year ago. And I spent 19 weeks in Myrtle Beach this year.
Nice. Perfect.
Woo! And my goal this year is to top it. So the point is, if a goal is to not be location bound, There are ways, and Zoom is one of them. For responsiveness, again, having the systems in place, having email and automation tools set up, they have to still sound like you. I was hiring people and I figured out that I do better if I write 75%, again, 75%, it's kind of my number, right? 75% of the content. I will pay someone to go in and edit it and clean it up and make sure the links all work and set it up. But I want it to feel like it's me, because I am the cornerstone of my tribe. Although I have more coaches and people can get a more economical value if they work with one of my coaches versus me directly, that's okay. But having responsiveness means having automation, so you're following up. I love that Thinkific has the ability, and I don't know if people know this, you send out a weekly reminder about their status in the course. You need to go in and customize that.
Definitely.
Like I wrote something about, yep, it's me, nudge, nudge. This stuff only works if you do something with it. So take action now, commit on your calendar, a block of time, at least blah, blah, whatever I say. But basically I do a nudge, nudge. You ask me for accountability, because almost everyone has a problem with that. That's a common thing we all want to be better at, I believe, whether it's your 6-pack abs or whatever it is. So customize, those nudges are happening. Why not make them sound like you, in a language that's you, in a style that's you, around the message and the way you are empowering people, right? Because accountability and not putting yourself last is part of what I'm making sure I teach people. It's part of my mantra. So it's there. Just make it, it takes 5 minutes, and then every one of your customers going forward has a better message. And if you don't like the way that one sounds, because you get those tests, right? You should be a test. Like my dogs, even my dead dog is still here's a tip. Put your dead dog as a seed in your email lists, right? We all have seeds, fake quote unquote names or whatever, special emails, so we can see how things look online and how the emails read. If it feels icky, change it. But Zoom, accountability, a cadence. In the courses, you're allowed to drip. I have the business. Somebody asked what plan. I use the business plan. By the way, I like the flexibility. I like all the features. I like not paying any. I keep all the money I make. I don't have to do a split share unless I do pay affiliates. I love referrals, so I very generously support people who send business my way. I do a lot with helping coaches and other people, complementary folks, grow their business. So we do a lot of cross-pollination, but having a cadence, showing up. If you have a team, you don't have to be the one always live yourself. You can have one of your fellow colleagues, man, like you guys, you bounce around. Patty, you're not there like every single solitary live, but you're a team. So somehow, some way, Greg will show up or Aaron will show up or you two or one of you, but that's what makes it more fun and more effective. So I think for responsiveness, effectiveness, frictionless, and then people learn differently when they hear different voices. So they might get a takeaway that sounds different coming from Patty than it does from Rob, than it does from me.
Yeah,
right?
That's very true. Everyone's thoughts are going to be slightly different.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a slight difference in opinion or what someone does. And that's actually what makes you, the course creator, unique, because your message is always going to be unique. And what you interpret as doing the process or doing something is, again, it's always going to be your way. And that's what cannot be taken away from you, because a lot of people think, well, if I'm going to teach someone how to speak Spanish, there's hundreds of thousands of Spanish teachers out there. I perhaps, who's going to just want to learn from me? But it's the way you teach it, and it's who you are, that people buy into that authenticity. And
that means there's a market for it.
Yes,
that question's
100%.
come up a lot. Yeah. That question has come up a lot, right? So if there are people in your space doing well, that means there's a valid market for your product or service. So if you've ever read Blue Ocean Strategy, right? Red Ocean is trying to do something exactly the same way everybody else does. So you're a one more, and then you're competing on price, which I don't go there. That's just not my game. You need to be value and you need to be unique selling proposition. This is all marketing 101 stuff, right? But if you're in a space where you have found a need. Like I said, with this whole career coaching thing, I didn't call myself it, but people were coming out of the woodwork asking for help, because what they really need is a personal brand and a way to tell their story. And now an extreme career makeover. So there are coaches, but most of the ones that people respond to have 2 or 4 or 5 references, and mine has 60 something, right? Or they'll try to sell them something. I give you a lot of stuff for free, but you can have a $25,000 or an $18,000 extreme career makeover, and I kidnap you for 3 days at the beach, and we do everything. So can you get other help? Yes. Can you get things cheaper? Yes. But each of you has a story and a way you share your genius, and you can make it very personal and very engaging, and you don't have to be the only one. That's, although when you have stuff and record it, do it live like this, get the engagement, and then put it in your academy.
Yeah, that's a good way. And that's actually a really easy way to almost like record your course, right? Just get it onto Zoom, just teach a few people, record it, and then just paste a link to the Zoom replay or put in your video. Yeah, and that's a really smart do. And
Zoom allows for audio. So it'll record the whole thing with the video. That takes up a lot of memory. That's the only downside. It's a big hog on memory, but upload it to YouTube and get the link, right? Mm-hmm. You can get an audio version and upload that into Thinkific. Then you can get the transcription and have a beautiful PDF made of it.
I didn't even think of that.
Now in every course.
What a great idea. That's a really great idea. You see, my mind just got blown then. That's you know what? That's a really really good idea. Wow. I didn't even think of that. That's something that's I know that me and you are gonna start talking about that after this after this live. That's really good, Pat.
Or you can take the audio and put it into like Anchor and you've got a podcast.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's all done. It's do once, use many.
Yeah.
Do once, use many. I had a boss in 1986 or something. And he used to say, do once, use many. And I was a young snot-nosed kid that thought, okay, sure, whatever. But I say it all the time now because it's really the way to monetize your genius and not get stuck selling one-to-one. The first 20 years of my business, I was more of a VP, virtual marketing VP. Traded time for money. I worked an hour, you paid me X an hour, right? And then I got smart and started hiring people. But I sold out my time and I sold out theirs, but it was exhausting. So now that all this course availability is here, I can do everything once, post it, and then I go back later if I want, and I can, you could put the PowerPoint. So let's say you do a workshop, and I hate PowerPoint, but sometimes I have a few. Record the whole workshop, post it in Thinkific. Get the audio part, post it in Thinkific. Broadcast it Facebook Live and Zoom, put the video and the audio, then get a transcript, make a PDF. Then you can have your VA make social media posts and blogs. And now you've done one thing. You've shown up for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is, and gotten many month of content easily. Do once, use many.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're a blacksmith or you're a resume writer or you're a scientist. My sister-in-law is a genius, and she did like ABC Garden, and she would take when her kids were in grammar school, she would teach the alphabet in a garden. I know that sounds silly. It's like such a very gentle, basic, fun way to get kids, they were getting their hands dirty and planting lollipops when it was L, and like just cool stuff. But think about it. Creating curriculum around even the most simple things like that, and monetizing it, sending it out there. So I hope that was useful. Any more questions?
No, I think we're good.
I think we're good. I mean, there was only one more that I want to just, but I think we have covered this off. So we'll give you the quick. We'll just quickly touch on this. Let me just bring this up. So Evelyn says, how do you get your LinkedIn profile to attract the ideal client? And I think we did touch on this earlier. Yeah. Just make sure you use your headline and make sure you're posting content to pull those people in. Pat, is there anything else we could do to add on that?
Yes, if it's not already there, I'll put the link. I have a free LinkedIn checklist to be able to And guess where it leads to?
I see. Thinkific site.
Of course, in Thinkific, of course. I have a LinkedIn profile checklist. So there's the PDF and there's a video for you to be able to go in and let's see what it is. For you to be able to go in and update your profile. And again, if you don't like the way things look on the video, you can always go back and rebrand it, add more, pay more, do it over at your convenience. But yeah, LinkedIn profile makeover magic. Let's see. I'll put the link in the Zoom chat because I'm not on Facebook. If I had my Facebook Live open right now, I would be
going off.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work for me. I would be way too distracted. So I decided to be a good girl. I put it in the Zoom chat for you guys if you want to copy it, but they can go in and get the free trial. Again, this is how everything, if you ask me anything we talked about, I have a free trial of something somewhere that teaches you exactly what we spoke about.
Yeah. Perfect.
It all goes, all my good ideas go in Thinkific somewhere.
Amazing.
Because now it's all there. And so the courses become more robust. And the people who have paid get lifetime access usually to most things. So there's always something new and exciting or updated. You know, if LinkedIn changed their algorithm, obviously I'm in there doing screen grabs and retraining and throwing the new stuff in.
Yeah.
Etc. So Thinkific allows you to continue to evolve. It's not like a one and done. It can be if you're in something, but even, you know, if you were a tax attorney or a whatever, an income tax preparer, or a virtual bookkeeper or anything, right? If the deductions for next year change, as they will, then somebody can get the update. So Thinkific allows you to continue to evolve, which means you're going to help your client continue to evolve.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. So thank you, Pat. Thank you so much for providing this amazing value today. I want a quick last comment from Ali, who says, thanks everyone. Once again, you're all amazing. Can I work for Thinkific UK? I mean, you're sure if we get an office open in the UK, Ali, you'll be the first person we call. And I'll probably pop over myself as well. So I won't need a work visa. So, Pat, thank you so much. I've been absolutely blown away with the value. I'm not surprised you put so much value into this Facebook Live and this YouTube Live session that we've had. Is there any other way that people can reach out to you, or is it just head on over to rockonsuccess.thinkific.com?
They can go to, well, I created a vanity URL for my academy. So it's rockonsuccess.com/academy.
Perfect.
All my Thinkific lives inside of the academy.
Amazing.
And so there's literally a training on Thinkific. There's a Rock Your Online course, which is all my Thinkific library of all the talks we've had and the tools we've shared and all that good stuff. The virtual coffee, the little 5-minute freebie, the LinkedIn profile makeover magic. There's free stuff everywhere. So pat@rockonsuccess.com is the bat phone, you know, the direct in. And I love what we do. I love what you guys do. I appreciate you very, very much, which is why I'm always shouting Thinkific from the rooftop, because it's real. You're the real deal.
Thanks, Pat. That really means a lot. And Rob does an amazing job. We wouldn't be doing these amazing lives without this man.
No,
like,
teamwork,
you know,
teamwork.
You can see him sort of looking on the other screen, but he's making this happen, mate. The guy's crushing it.
Thank you.
Pat, thank you so much. We look forward to having you on the next one. It's going to be about using LinkedIn and LinkedIn profiling. So stick around. Let us know in the comments what you want to learn about that as well. If you've got any more comments after watching this on the replay, we'll do our best to get back in touch. I know Pat and you and your team will be there, like monitoring that as well, and we'll jump in where necessary. Well, thanks again, everyone. Happy 2019 to you all.
Woo-hoo! Go
out and make it happen. This is your year to make it happen. So go out and do it.
Happy New Year. Thank you, guys.
Happy New Year. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.